Hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop197. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, it's that time again for another top 5 list that nobody has never done before. And some top 5 list that I haven't done yet. And this is going to be one of the most awkward lists of all time. And also, I want to let you know, as ladies and dudes, that Easter is coming early in a March. Yeah, it's kind of awkward, don't you think? After all, Easter needs to come from April, not in March. Because, we gotta get ready for the Easter Bunny and go on to that Easter egg hunt to find so many goodies that came from that plastic Easter egg thing. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, I remember I played that game a long time ago. Back when I was a little girl, and I will say it was a okay Easter egg time. Well, that was a long time ago. But here's something that nobody had never done before is find some Easter eggs that comes from in a movie. And this is a very awkward list that we gotta do. It doesn't matter if it's a top 5 or top 10 list. So for my top 5 list, I really want to do for today is my top 5 best Easter eggs that came from in the movie. And to tell you the truth, ladies and dudes, this is going to be a really hard list to do about what type of Easter eggs that we can find in movies. Something that was kind of hidden that we don't know of, like maybe a prop or something that came from Disney, or a couple of familiar people that we never got to notice who made its cameo appearance from which movie that they're going to be in. Yeah, this is going to be an awkward list. And it's really hard for me to pick which Easter egg that I really want to put on this list. So I will do the very best that I can for this awkward list. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here are my top 5 best Easter eggs that comes from in the movie. And yes, and I only got one honorable mention. And the honorable mention has to go to A Welcome on the Tombstones. Yes, ladies and dudes, I hate to say it, but this movie does have a little bit of an Easter egg. And it came from the scene where Matthew Scudder's gonna talk to that Kenny guy about what happened to his wife the day when she got kidnapped by those two evil dudes who, do bad things on her here and there. There was some type of Easter egg that involves with that picture, with Kenny's wife. And to tell you the truth is, that woman does look kind of familiar. That lady kind of reminds me of Famke Jensen. I wonder why the heck those people want to create a picture of a woman who looks like Famke Jensen. I can recognize the face and the hair. If Famke Jensen ever looks kind of sexy, if you know what I mean. So that is one unknown Easter egg that I found in A Walk Above the Tombstones. Okay, let's get on to my top 5 list. Coming at number 5 goes to The Wind Rises. And yes, ladies and dudes, I will let you know there's a couple of Hayao Miyazaki films here and there that does have a couple of Easter eggs. Something that I have never got to notice. But yes, ladies and dudes, there is something from this movie that has an Easter egg. 2 main Easter eggs. Okay, there's one Easter egg that involves one of the plane scenes in Jiro's dream. There was a part where Jiro and Capone were saying hello to these people in one of those main planes. there was one woman who's dressing, some type of bright robe that has a little blue stripe in it, and I was thinking, I wonder if that's Mother Teresa in that scene in the play, or a woman who does look like Mother Teresa. It's very darn strange. There's a woman who kind of looks like the younger version of Mother Teresa. I'm not sure if that's her or not, but that's one Easter egg I found out. And the other Easter egg I found out that came from the blue-headed girl's father. And that face kind of looks familiar. I recognize that face somewhere. It came from in another Miyazaki movie. Sadly, it's not a Studio Ghibli film, but it came from that movie Lupin the Third, The Castle of Cagliostro. The main villain of the movie. I forgot his name, but it's been a long time. It's some type of general or something. Hard for me to say, but yep, there is an Easter egg that I found in this movie, and it deserves to be at number 5. Coming at number 4 goes to the Phantom of the Opera, the 2004 version. And yes, ladies and dudes, this movie does have an Easter egg. And a very unknown Easter egg that nobody had never discovered before. And the Easter egg that I found in this movie is the picture of Christine Daae's father. And that young man kind of looks familiar. If you guys have or haven't paid attention to that picture from the scene in the movie, that young man is truly one of the best singers and actors of all time, a young man named Ramin Karimou. I was so darn surprised. I did not see that coming. I did not see a part that Ramin Karimou had a little bit of a cameo appearance playing Christine's father. I mean, he was so darn handsome and good looking in that picture. And I wonder why they decided to add him in this version. And also about Ramin Karimou, he became the next Phantom of the Opera to come in the 21st century. And to tell you the truth, this, ladies and dudes, he did deliver, becoming the next Phantom to come in the later on future. And boy, he does have a gorgeous voice to play one of the best Phantoms out there. So yes, ladies and dudes, the Phantom of the Opera, the 2004 version, does have a frickin' Easter egg that nobody had never discovered. So it deserves to be at number 4. Oh, come on. Coming at number 3 goes to Michael Collins. And I guess everybody was wondering, hey, wait a minute. Why does Michael Collins have a frickin' Easter egg? We can't find any Easter egg that came from in this movie. Well, there's no scene that involves an Easter egg. But what about a score that came from an Easter egg? Yes, ladies and dudes, I will let you know that Michael Collins does have a freaking Easter egg that came from in a score. And it came from in the opening credits. All you have to do is pay attention to the main score of this movie that came from in the opening credits. There is one little piece of a score that kind of reminds me of Taken 2. Something that came from in the death of the Purpoya Du leader. And there was another little piece of score that came from in the main score of Gangs of New York. So that means there's a little bit of pieces of a score that will come from in the later on movies in the later on future. Yeah, just go and watch the opening credits of Michael Collins and check out the little pieces of a score that came from in this underrated movie, and I gotta rewatch it again somehow in some ways. Coming at number 2 goes to the Les Miserables, the 2012 version. And yes, ladies and dudes, this movie does have a couple of Easter eggs here and there. But it's not from the scenes in the movie, but it's these people who did the original version of Les Miserables back in London, England. And there's a couple of them here and there. I will say the most surprising Easter egg that I found in this movie is the actor who plays the Bearship dude. And that's none other than Coleman Wilkinson. Coleman Wilkinson, if I pronounce his name right. Oh yeah, Coleman Wilkinson did play the Bearship. And he did a fantastic job of playing a really good priest dude who gave Jean Valjean those 2 silver candles and tried to give him the path that he needs to go in so Jean Valjean can restart his life all over again and try to become a man more than ever before. This is a very surprising Easter egg. And also, for a very fun fact, Coleman Wilkinson is known as the original Jean Valjean back at the year of 1985 when he did his own version of Les Miserables back at London, England. This is one of the best Easter eggs I ever found in this movie, and I was kind of surprised to see Coleman Wilkinson in this film. Please check out this movie to believe it, and it deserves to be at number 2. And finally, at number 1 has to go on a tie between Taken 2 and Taken 3. And nope, there is no scenes that I can find that came from for an Easter egg. But I'd rather think about the main scores that has a really cool hidden Easter egg. And it came from that composer I love, Nathan something. It's so hard to pronounce his name. But yeah, thanks to this composer, he did add a couple of Easter eggs that came from one of his amazing scores. Like, hold on. Yeah, wait. In Taken 2, there is 2 good hidden Easter eggs that came from 2 main scores that I remembered. One I have already seen, and the other I've seen little bits here and there. There was one score that kind of reminds me of Batman Begins, maybe a score that should have fit for Batman vs. Ra's al Ghul. It's that score called Fighting the Handman, and I think that score kind of reminds me of something from Batman Begins. And there was another score that came from in the near end of the movie is the death of the Propoya dude, and I really love that score to death, and it has an epic violin feel to it. And I think that score, I think it should have came from in the Schindler's List. You know, something really sad and tragic. I really love this score to death. Yeah, Taken 2 has one of the best scores ever. And also from Taken 3, there's 3 good familiar scores that I found in this film. One Easter egg that came from in that College Pursuit score, one of the best epic scores I ever heard. I think that score should have belonged maybe surrounded The Dark Knight Rises, like an epic battle or something. And for the other 2, there was one score called He Didn't Do It. I think that score kind of reminds me of one of the Miyazaki films. Maybe Princess Mononoke, I guess. I'm not so sure, but there is a score that kind of reminds me of a Miyazaki film. And the last score is Brian's Grief. And surprising thing is, I'm not sure which score that came from in the movie. Maybe like in the 90s film or something. But that's all I can find for this one. So I will say these main scores that came from Taken 2 and 3 deserves to be the number 1 best movies that I can find that has Easter eggs in it. So there you go, ladies and dudes. Those are my top 5 most unknown Easter eggs that I found in movies. And tell me, ladies and dudes, what kind of Easter eggs that you could find in movies? From here and there. Whichever they are, just leave a comment there and let me know. This will be my hardest top 5 list that I did so far. And join me next time for my next videos to come in the main future. Well, whatever it's gonna be. So, I'll see you guys later. Sayonara.